Hello, Apollo 10, Houston, you're coming in on the black and white monitor now.
During this interior scene, Charlie Duke comments, "The patch is visible, but it's pretty dark, due to the background being so bright." Just as Duke says the last word in his sentence, the camera cuts.
Side window, I guess it is. The patch is visible, but it's pretty dark due to the background being so bright.
The next quote we hear is Duke's, "10, do you read, over?"
10, do you read, over?
The transcript logs these respective quotes 1 minute and 10 seconds apart. The exact time elapse on the spacecraft films disc. Later, we can see the mission's command pilot, Thomas Stafford. When commenting on the beard he has grown over the mission, Stafford says, "That's known as a 72-hour shadow, Charlie." Duke replies, "Yes, sir."
That's known as a 72-hour shadow, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
These two quotes were made only 5 seconds apart, but in the video feed there is clearly a cut between them.
That's known as a 72-hour shadow, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
That's known as a 72-hour shadow, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Hour shadow, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
It's also interesting to note that in this particular telecast, we get a prominent view of the hatch window. Both Cernan and Stafford comment on the particles that have congealed on the outer pane. Watch now as Cernan describes what he's looking at.
Right.
Houston, the hatch window is phenomenally clear. There's what appear to be a few dust particles on the outside, maybe a couple smear prints on the inside. The right-hand window has got a little bit of a smear on the outside, not necessarily particles, but just a general smear. And the left side window has got some definite particles lashed across it. Bit of a smear on the
Do you
outside,
think
not
his lips look
necessarily
synced to his
particles, just a
voice?
general smear. And the left side window has got some definite particles lashed across it.
In this telecast alone, we have seen not one, but 3 examples of uncut audio synchronized to edited video footage.
Definite particles lashed across it.
It's also interesting to note that in response to the blue light we later saw filling the hatch window on Apollo 11, some folks have suggested that it was sunlight being refracted through the multi-paned window, even though the sun was filling up window number 5 at the time.
Yeah, those are both of the 2 star charts that he is using right now as sunshades over the right-hand window, window number 5. Roger, we see the sun shining in through it behind him, and
a similar situation is seen on this previous mission when we see the hatch window. Though not completely filling it, we can distinctly see a blue light shining through it. You might argue that this is just a refraction of the sun's light. However, in this transmission, the astronauts make it clear that none of their windows have a view of the sun or the moon some 9,000 miles away.
At this time, as we look at the Earth, we are 210,000 miles away. We've only got about 9,000 miles to go to the moon. We're traveling approximately 2,500 miles an hour relative to the Earth around the moon. Right now, we cannot see the moon, even though it is rapidly accelerating towards it by its mass. Over.
Roger, Tom. We copied. That's a very good description. We copy. We have you entering the lunar penumbra at this time. Do you notice the sun setting at all? Over.
We can't see the sun right now, Charlie.
Roger.
We're not in the right attitude to see it.
In this attitude, to look at the Earth and everything, we can't get a picture of the sun that we can see. If there's any solar corona, we'll give it a quick shot.
Roger. Jack is estimating you'll have about 30 seconds only, over.
Okay, Charlie, it appears that the sun's reflection on Snoopy here is getting a little bit dimmer. So we very well could be where you say we are. I hope we are.
Along with the telecasts, the Apollo 10 crew also shot a series of videos with their 16mm data acquisition camera. Out of all of them, there is one shot that is quite questionable. We see Gene Cernan and the window behind him. There is no question that there is a little white dot outside that window. What could it be? However, this is where the tape ends. For all we know, that little white dot could very well be the moon 240,000 miles away. But here's the interesting part. In this piece of 16mm footage, we can clearly see the hatch window completely filled with a blue light. Because both Stafford and Cernan are seen wearing beards in this video, it tends to suggest it was filmed around the 72-hour mark, when our heroes had absolutely no view of the sun or the moon.
Right now we cannot see the moon, even though it is rapidly accelerating towards us.
We can't see the sun right now, Charlie. Roger. We're not in the right attitude to see it.
So, if the blue light we see coming through the hatch window in these two videos could not be from the sun or the moon, where else could it be from? Oh, and our view of the Earth before terminating the 7220 telecast? We see it, but not before the lights go out.
Okay, Charlie, we'll terminate this pass with one quick look outside and see how the 210-foot dish looks at the Earth from outside, okay?
Roger, 10, we're standing by, over.